Hello, everyone, and welcome to the third week of the semester. I really hope you had a good Labor Day holiday. I very purposely did not allow you to do the week 3 work until Tuesday this week, and that's because I've looked at the academic calendar, and there really are no more academic holidays until Thanksgiving. So I thought you might need a day's break. It also gave me a chance to grade your quizzes, and I should have your essays graded for the week 3 very shortly. So just be patient with me. I'll get those things graded within the next, say, 24 to 48 hours. And I'll not only put a number on them, but I'll also give you some comments. The comments I'm going to give you are going to try to be designed to help you do better on future essays. So take the comments as constructive criticism if I need to give you any constructive criticism. Of course, if you write a really super duper essay, there won't be much I have to say, but I may point one or two things out. All right, this week, the French Revolution. Now, you may be asking, Mr. Smith, if we're a British literature class, why are we looking at the French Revolution? Well, there's a reason for it. One is that a lot of British authors wrote about the French Revolution. In fact, a lot of people in Britain were watching this French Revolution very closely. Now, remember back to our lessons in week 1. There was something called an interregnum where the King of England was beheaded, and for 11 years there was no king until his son, Charles II, got restored, if you will, to the throne. And so, as France is beheading its own king and its queen, people in England are looking at France and saying, do we want to do this here? And if the French Revolution hadn't gotten so bloody and hadn't resulted in the deaths of so many people, England may have gone that way, but the French Revolution just got totally out of hand. And many people were executed simply because they had money or simply because they had status. And the British said, whoop, nope, we're not going to do that. But there was a lot of debate about it. And the major players that we're going to read this week after you read your introduction to the French Revolution are going to be Edmund Burke on one hand, who is pro-royalty, pro-inheritance, pro-money, if you will. And on the other side, you've got both Mary Wollstonecraft, who we will read later this semester, and Thomas Paine. And yes, if you know your American history, it's that same Thomas Paine. They were both saying, we don't really need a king. And we don't need to rely on the old documents such as the Magna Carta from 1215 or the Declaration of Right from 1688. We can actually make our own laws today rather than relying on such ancient documents, whereas Burke is going to say we should rely on ancient documents. Wollstonecraft and Paine also did not believe that inheritance should be a way to wealth, that people should be able to make their own wealth. So, you got that little dichotomy going on there. A lot of this stuff you're seeing in this week's readings are still being discussed in America today. Why is it that just because somebody's born into a wealthy family, they can have all the wealth and try to accumulate more wealth, whereas somebody who might be born into a poor family has to scrape and scrounge and work really hard, and in the end still have nothing to show for it. So a lot of the issues that are raised here, such as inheritance, such as who rules the country and things like that, are still being debated today. Now, bear in mind as you read Burke and then you read Wollstonecraft's and Paine's reactions to Burke, that Burke did have a lot of friends. All we're doing here is we're showing the two sides of the debate. So we're not saying that Burke is wrong just because Wollstonecraft and Paine say he is. We're saying that this was the debate that was going on. This was the argument people were having. And they were having them in things called pamphlets, which would be today's social media, if you will. Pamphlets were easy to produce, they were cheap, and you could produce a lot of them, and a lot of people who were finally starting to be able to read and write in numbers that are larger than ever before in history have to read something. And so these pamphlets were a way to disseminate ideas, just like today's news media and just like today's social media is a way that people debate and have ideas today. So before there was Facebook, before there was Twitter, before there were all these online arguments, there was the French Revolution and the pamphlets that were produced in England to discuss the French Revolution. So, with that in mind, I look forward to seeing your comments, and I look forward to hearing what you have to say about the debate that went on during the French Revolution.